Hey there everyone. I was going through my YouTube channel a little bit ago to work on my Strongbox directory, which if you're interested in getting a directory in all of my content, you should check it out. It's really, really cool. But anyways, as I was going through there, managing everything, I noticed that I keep talking about like how I meal prep chicken and how I meal prep all sorts of other meat, and I realized I never did a video on it. So here we are. So I'm actually going to meal prep some turkey breast cutlets for tonight, actually. So I'm going to do that right now, and on live video, so you can see it. So basically, what I have here is mayonnaise. This is olive oil mayo. I like it. I think the ingredients are a little bit more pure. So actually, I'll tell you what though. I don't think this one's any good anymore. Nope, it smells weird. So I ran out of mayo. It's on the shopping list. We don't have any mayo, right? We're out of mayo, right?
I think so.
Alright, so quick change of plans. I think I'm going to do this with butter instead, actually. Now, this is very unfortunate because this is like my go-to ingredient. Yeah, but there's definitely spots in it, and actually I've never seen that before, but I'm not going to take any chances. It smells a little bit more tart than normal, so like I'm thinking that's not good. You know, that's funny because mayo doesn't really last that long here because I use it so often for this. So why is mayo my go-to ingredient? Well, when you use it for especially white meat, it the fat that you would coat it with locks very, very well on the locks the moisture in the inside very, very well. So that's why I tend to use this as my go-to ingredient, unless there's speckles in it. So we're gonna do things a little bit different, and I'm gonna use ingredient number 2 and toss this in the garbage because there goes my plan for today. Be right back. Okay, so instead, I'm going to use a mixture of butter shavings, and maybe something fun with mustard, actually. I have here a Pyrex casserole dish, and my oven is currently preheating. I sometimes don't even preheat it, though, when I do this method, because, like, why bother? You know, you just throw it in, and you set a timer on the low end, and then you just kind of keep watching it afterwards. I like to watch until I see the top just get a little bit browned, and then I stab it with a skewer. If it starts bleeding, give it another 5 minutes. If it's not bleeding, I usually stab it a couple more times, and if the juices run clear, then I know it's done, and I'm all set. Keep in mind that unless I'm planning on eating it right away, it's going to be reheated. So I want to make sure that I'm doing what I can to, of course, not undercook it, but not overcook it, because, you know, the more it sits, the longer it reheat, or the more times that you reheat it, hopefully only once is really what we're going for, of course, the drier it's going to get. So we want to avoid drying it out the first time around, right? Okay, grab a fork here. Alright, so, got these cutlets here, and they're thin, so they're not going to take long, which is good, because I don't have that long. And it looks like we've got maybe about 6 or so in here. Okay, notice I didn't put anything on my pan, because I have a method for that. This one might have close to 7. And these are very thin. I'm taking note of that. And my oven is preheated at, or going to be preheated at 350. That's what I have it set at. Whether it's preheated or not for this, it really doesn't matter. Alrighty. Okay, this is all set. Okay. Alright, so my butter. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to be putting on little shavings. In the end, per serving, this is going to be for, I guess depending on how hungry I am, it's either going to take care of 2 or maybe even 3 meals for me. Probably 2. They're very thin. And they're only going to get thinner as they cook and shrink. Okay, so I'm just putting these little shavings on my turkey. This whole process, when you're not explaining it and everything, Really only takes a few minutes. And then into the oven it goes. One more. Okay. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is flip it. And we are preheated. And I at least want to trap one of the butters underneath, if I can. In the end, there will always be excess. There will always be plenty after it melts. That's why I like putting whatever fat I'm using to cook over the top, and then flipping, and then I put a little bit more over the top too, so I'm actually not done with this yet. Okay. There we go. That one's a little bit twisted, but that's okay. Alright, that one was an extra one that went over the top, so was that. Okay, let's do a few more. And these, I'm going to try to make a little smaller, because all they're going to do is melt and flow over the edge. As you can see how they're curling, there's really not a whole lot going on here. So probably in the end, I'm only using like a tablespoon or so. That's about it. Okay, and that's going to be it. Alright, for spices, if you've seen some of my recipes before or seen some of the articles or whatever that I talk about prepping meat, I usually say to go unseasoned, okay? And the reason for this is if you're eating over the course of multiple days, I mean, a common complaint is you don't want to get sick of it. You don't want to have to like eat the exact same meal every single day. If you're that type of person, I tend to not get sick of things too easily, but people I talk to about meal prepping are like, oh, I don't want to eat the same thing 3 days in a row. So don't. Make it taste different, but you're still eating the same healthy meat, but it doesn't have to taste that way. So I know one of my go-to ingredients is always garlic. So this is granulated garlic. I bought it because it was cheap. And all I'm just going to do is sprinkle some over the top. And some of it will bake inside, you know, it'll season meat nicely, but by all means I am not done. So I will probably add more garlic, but then I'm going to end up adding other spices upon reheating. That way I can season it to taste how I feel like eating for that day. So let's say when I get home from work, okay, it's going to be going on like 9 o'clock in the evening, right? Maybe I would like something that's going to taste like smoky Montreal steak. Yeah, on my turkey, right, exactly. Okay, how about this one? I might want Tennessee apple butter. That might sound good at that time of the evening. So then I just sprinkle that on the top, reheat, done. Tomorrow, I may not want that. I may want smoky Montreal steak or whatever, okay? So that way you can switch it up and you kind of get yourself excited for a certain flavor profile or a certain type of taste. Depending on what you feel like in that moment. So when you do your meal prepping of meat, go sparingly on the flavors, just simply because you don't know what you're going to want 2 days from now. Okay? So, that can go away. Since I'm not using it right now, this can go here. And this is going to go straight in the oven. I'm going to start, because these are so thin, I'm going to start them at 25 minutes, check them, and then go 5 minutes from there. So that way I can just keep resetting the oven. Again, you want to go on the sparing side, okay? So, that's it. Alright, so I'm prepping this now so that I eat it 7 hours from now-ish, okay? And then I'll have enough for tomorrow or Saturday or something like that, okay? And I tend to do this once or twice a week or so, different meats. Often I'll do chicken. I had a lot of chicken last week, so I wanted something different here. And you can see that the size of the package, that was only going to permit me 2 to 3 meals anyways. So, yeah, you just kind of think about it, and then you add just a couple of different prepped meats for your shopping list. And if other people are going to partake with you, well, adjust your serving size accordingly. It's real easy, and then they can season it the way they want too if you're cooking for others. Alrighty, so hope this helps. Hopefully there's some good tips in here, and I'll see what more I can dig up. Maybe we'll get another good meal prep one for next week. Alright, have a great weekend. Talk to you later.